Telltale has proven how amazing point-and-click interactive games can be with amazing titles such as The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, along comes a little gem with a lot of potential under the ever so truthful name of Life is Strange. Developed by Don't Nod Entertainment, the creators behind 2013's Remember Me, and published by Square Enix, Life is Strange is a episodic interactive drama graphic adventure. The game focuses on Maxine, or Max as she's referred to in game, a teenage photography senior who saves her old friend Chloe by discovering she can rewind time. The pair soon find themselves exposed to the darker side of Arcadia Bay as they discover the disturbing truth behind the sudden disappearance of a fellow student. Meanwhile, Max begins to have premonitions as she struggles to understand the implications of her powers. She must quickly learn that changing the past can sometimes lead to a devastating future. But the one thing that I kinda noticed in the game though was how every other girl is better looking than me. Dear God, is this what it's like to be a teenage girl? Stop judging me! I'm a late bloomer! While playing the game, you will kinda get a certain vibe of the game. Kinda like 90210 meets the butterfly effect. An action happens in the game that has made your life worse. Do you leave that action in place to run its natural course, or do you rewind time and change the outcome? But will that outcome be for better or for worse? These are all things that you'll have to decide in the game. Little nods do go out to other shows such as Breaking Bad and Ferris Bueller, and while these are not necessary to put in, they all are kind of funny and fun to find. Life is Strange is available on all platforms, that's including the PS3, 4, Xbox 360, One and PC. Oddly enough, the only consoles they're not available for is the Nintendo consoles. I played the game on the PC and the controls were pretty smooth, I have to say. The camera had no annoying little quirks going on, and it did take me a little while to get used to how to interact with the items. But hell, in a game where you can rewind time, I think I can take as much damn time as I want. When the opportunity comes to make a decision in the game, Max will show doubt about whether or not she made the right choice.
Man, that did not go well for me. If I want to keep my Blackwell scholarship, I shouldn't lie for anybody, even Chloe. I have to think about my own future.
And I actually found myself listening to what she had to say and changing my initial choice purely because she had made me question the choice myself, which is a first within these kind of games for me. I normally pick a decision and go with it throughout. Even though it is your typical point and click adventure game, the rewind ability gives the game replayability without actually having to replay the game. But that being said, when I did complete the game and you get your typical stat screen, you know, things like 81% of people stabbed Victoria in the throat 37 times and then rewind the time. It showed me all the other statistical interactions that I missed or didn't even notice that I could interact with, making me want to dive into the game even further and really dig deep and explore the game. The game comes in 5 episodes, and while The Walking Dead had the comics and the TV show to pique people's interest in the game, and The Wolf Among Us had the Fable comics to bring in a certain fan base for that game, Life is Strange has none of that. There's no comic, there's no TV show to give us an idea whatsoever what the game will be like. So, is the first episode good enough to entice me to buy the other episodes? In the words of Walter White,
"You're goddamn right."
After finishing episode 1, I can already feel like I'm in for one hell of a ride. I'm in for a ride of tough decisions, character deaths, and tear-jerking plot twists. I can just feel it. And if you don't believe me, then I highly recommend you try the game for yourself. The first episode is on Steam right now for the ridiculously low price of $3.99. So go pick it up, and if you don't like it, you've only spent £4. Life is Strange goes with an etchy kind of art style with a dash of comic book glaze. Sure, it doesn't look as fine point as other interactive point and clickers. Oh my god, not that kind of clicker! But we don't play these games to be dazzled by fancy graphics. We play them to experience the journey with our character. But to help compensate for the game's graphics, we're given an amazing soundtrack in the game, which to me is only beaten by the soundtrack of Transistor. The music is picked carefully to help contribute to the atmosphere. feeling a bit down, then a bit of a soft music to reflect how low we're feeling at that point. Wanna rock out, and then a bit of punk is for us. Bit of drama going on, here's some soft pop. It all complements the game and adds to that all important immersion. And now for the score of Life is Strange. I've given this some 4, and the game is by no means perfect, but it's pretty damn good. The story is compelling, and minus the rewinding of time, it kinda gives you an insight into the world of a bitchy teenage girl. Graphically, it's no Far Cry 4, but this game ticks the boxes in every other category. So I'm giving this game 4 stars out of 5. Well, that's it for the review, guys. I've decided that the channel will now be primarily a review channel instead of a Let's Play one. I feel that I can create better and more consistent content for you, so make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can check out my latest videos in your news feeds. Stay safe, guys.
And you ended up on an island inhabited by humanoid cats that seem to have an obsession with murderous theatre. The third character you can unlock is called Wolfgang, and he's the game's strongman. He takes longer to starve and has the benefit of hitting harder than a truck full of Miley Cyrus's shitty albums.